Good morning, everyone. This is Very Mellow Man, welcoming you back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In our previous episode of this Let's Play, we defeated Carius' agent, the Grand Duke Gaspard's cousin, or sister, I've already forgotten. I've never actually been able to keep track of that. But, needless to say, Needless to say, I'm sorry for being so stuttery this morning. I'm just not really used to streaming this early in the morning. I just felt like I had the time to get out multiple episodes today. And that is the plan. We're gonna wind a bit. Let's check out what we got in the special shipment today. Right. If you have the Flames of the Inquisition DLC, and you do complete both the Here Lies the Abyss and Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, you will unlock the Tier 3 schematics of the dragon armor and weaponry you can craft. So yeah, Tier 3 stuff right there. It's pretty nice. So yeah, we foiled Carius' plot to assassinate the Orlesian Empress, Selene, by allowing her assassination to occur, and in her place, making Grand Duke Gaspard the new Emperor of Orlais. See, Carius wanted destabilization and chaos. What we did was impose new order. We basically outplayed him by letting him play his hand. It's pretty clever, I think. Nice little plan. I appreciate that type of role playing in my video games. So we're gonna wind a bit by getting all these companion quests out the way.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halamshiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits? Broken promises? Half-truths? It is a palace full of motivation. And motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Gaspard should be a steadfast ally. Especially after delivering him both Selene and Briala.
Let's see.
I hope you know that I didn't turn over Briala lightly. If I'd had another option...
What? Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
I agree.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Briala had a perfect plan, if you wanted everyone to kill each other. I'm trying to avoid that. She could have focused on actual threats.
Easy to say. Harder to remember when few people can see you, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. Good afternoon.
I need to know more about Carius.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhawk. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
My apologies, Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believe the orb is Elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any lore connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais. That eliminates military or political means to rebuild Tevinter. He will need to demonstrate that no one in this world can stand against his magic. It will not be subtle.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Tevinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
Why not?
Privacy? Caution? Concern about the direction of this Inquisition once our work is done?
Then don't tell me. I wasn't asking as part of the Inquisition.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If Corypheus destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fate. Ah, Inquisitor, that is why I joined, not why I stayed.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fate.
How so?
You train to flick a dagger or an arrow to its target. The grace with which you move is a pleasing side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I don't
dreamt
like Solus.
I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall.
No.
The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. My friend.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself and your studies.
Oh.
If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Let's. This place is dull. Oh, it's Haven.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
I'm glad someone was watching over me.
You were a mystery. You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
I would never have agreed to that.
You were in no position to argue. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
You didn't say it that way, I don't think. You just said it.
Is that how you remember it? That is what I mean about perception shaping our existence.
But that's only true in the Fade.
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
God darn. Yeah, we're back in our our apartment here. Right, where is it? Back to Solacen. It's kind of awkward that we don't really have the ability to just fast travel from our room to other places of the castle and vice versa. I feel like there should have been an option.
Inquisitor.
Sleep well?
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang a soldier's hymn to keep formation. The primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
You just have to ask.
All right, let's see.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
I'd be happy to help. What did these mages use to capture your friend? Blood magic?
A summoning circle, I would imagine.
I'm sorry?
My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
I'll help.
All right. Let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map.
All right then. Here's Cullen.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. Therenfall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
Right. Samson is another returning character from the previous Dragon Age game. From the same game as Corypheus, in fact. He really was just an NPC you only really dealt with in a few quests. He was always a bit player, too. You could optionally decide his fate, though, which makes his inclusion in this game pretty interesting.
Samson's armor was glowing with the stuff. He'll go mad soon enough.
He seemed clear-eyed at Haven. Even so, the deluded commander is no less worrisome. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
I like finding the Red Templars' vulnerabilities before fighting them head-on.
We'll need every advantage against what courses through their veins. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded. As leader of the Inquisition, you...
Now I'm curious what
There's
it's about.
something I must tell you.
Whatever it is, I'm willing to listen.
Right. Thank you. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities. but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
You've never complained.
Why would I? I chose this. After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life, any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
I don't approve.
You shouldn't have done this in the first place.
I have to do this. What future can there be outside the Order if I don't try? I believe in this Inquisition. I would serve out of loyalty, not blind obedience.
But this, risking your life, your sanity, it can't be the only way.
The Inquisition's army must always take precedence. I will consider what you said.
This is really mad.
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
Not by choice. They were manipulated by Corypheus.
I'm not sure that's a comfort. The Inquisition must serve as an example. We must stand where others fall.
You and the Red Templar's leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why do you think Samson joined Corypheus?
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
You can't deny being a general is an improvement to living on the streets.
I'd rather die than kneel to Corypheus. Clearly Samson felt otherwise. I don't understand how he became so powerful. Even with red lyrium, Samson's glory days are long behind him.
Yeah. Alright.
Still waiting for your letter of marque or commendation or whatever?
Any day.
Inquisitor.
Let's do this in order. All these in order. We're going to start with Cassandra's personal quest. Then take it up from there.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We have the military might of Orlais behind us. Emperor Gaspard will send support on request.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
I forgot this cutscene automatically plays at the start of Act. It signifies the start of Act 3. Here's how I break down the game. There's a prologue, which takes place and only ends after you kill the first boss, which is the Pride Demon. Then Act 1 is ending the Mage Templar War. The beginning of Act 2 happens the second you get to Skyhold, and it doesn't end until after you complete both Here Lies the Abyss and Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. We're in Act 3 right now.
That's what we want. Demoralized soldiers fall first. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thetis long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
Alright, please continue.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you.
Yeah, this is a major plot revelation coming up.
This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this?
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost.
So yeah.
I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
It's incredible.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time and space, perhaps. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable, As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a respite with the man I loved. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here?
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
All right. So the Illuvian is in here. Oh my god. Oh god, you have to wait half an hour. Oh, and Morgan joins us in the room now. Great. Okay. So it says you have to wait half an hour, unfortunately. Let's do some work in the Storm Coast while we're here. Alright. If you noticed, our campaign's got quite the upgrade in the armor department.
See? I told you.
Alright.
What happened there is that I decided to I duped a lot of gold, and then I bought every tier 3 crafting material in the Black Emporium. This allowed me to make these ridiculously cool looking armors without impunity. And I also made sure to suit them all up with +3 guard on hit, so they have guard generation. The only exception is Cassandra's armor, and that's because I have a shield in mind for her that's going to have guard on hit generation. Did I remember to get it? Well, either way, we've got ways to go until we actually get around to that. Stealth. Why not? Alright. Artificer. Varric's main bread and butter here is an artificer. Get that focus skill. Take them down. More critical hit chance. Nice. Oh no, this is great because it's very difficult to raise critical hit chance in general. Okay. And critical hit chance is what this build would want. Okay. archery talents. Spike trap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Okay. At this point in the game, especially if you're willing to use an amulet of power too, the builds for your main character and your companion are basically done. All that's really left is to make a bunch of let's see. Start putting specs into it by level 11, so alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Move 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19. Yeah. Actually, to get the best out of a Templar, what you need to do is... Alright, okay.
Did you hear about Haven?
Just rumors.
I have a feeling most of them true.
That's right. Weapons. I also upgrade Varric's Bianca into this monstrosity in order to give him much more damage and much more critical chance. 2 points of cunning equals 1% more critical chance. That's a lot of critical chance. That's not the amount of cunning he has in his armor. And Cassandra is going to get the Song of the Marshes, which is, you know. Finally, Solus is going to upgrade to the Grand Enchanter's Staff. The reason I didn't craft new weapons is because I decided to use what gold I could. I just duped more gold and then bought these. Oh boy.
Seeker, you're the dragon expert. What do we do now?
Don't get killed by either of them.
Oh yeah, this is a hilarious sight. You get to see a high dragon fight a that giant there. It can track me. In all honesty, it may be a mistake getting Aurora's freedom because I could give that to Cole. You know what? I could probably just give Aurora's freedom and Lady Jocasta's revenge to Cole. I wouldn't use them. Yeah. I already have a +3 guard masterwork ability. Climbing this hill has always been my biggest issue.
One above ground. Just what we needed. I watched someone nearly die from the Blight. It's not something you forget. Only way out was for him to become a Grey Warden, which means he's stuck fighting Darkspawn the rest of his life.
Yeah. That's Carver and or Bethany from Dragon Age 2. Varric will only say that if you made them a Grey Warden, like I did in this playthrough. And it's really weird. God. Because, yeah, trying to go out, it just weakens their world design. Like, it's not fun to explore the worlds when everything's so big. Well, that's what most people say, but it's not the exploration that's bothersome, it's the transportation. Platforming is not how you should be forced to get around mountain slopes.
I've news, sir.
If I get that far. Tuskets, we're not going to bother with.
That Herlock will put up a fight. Stand ready.
Stab, 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 stab.
What if I made an attempt?
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Oh. It's not just Cassandra Varric, and Solus. I've basically upgraded our secondary party, Dorian, Blackwall, and Iron Bull as well, for the same reason. Oh, you're just immune to being frozen. Just immune to being frozen, aren't you? Alright. Up here is the last camp. Shoot.
The Grey Wardens allow elves and dwarves into their ranks?
Kunari too, I imagine. They don't care about titles or blood, just stopping the Blight.
A pity they do it so badly, then.
Give them some credit. It's not like you can study the Blight safely. I may not like everything they've done, but without the Wardens, we'd all be blighted by now.
They've bought us some time. I will grant them that.
Black Lotus. Man. Is there somewhere to open this door I forgot? Alright. Yeah, no. Like, I was just as pissed because I really didn't. Yeah, no.
Inquisitor.
What do I do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever. To say the same thing. Alright. Oh, well, it's almost done.
Are the soldiers ready?
As ready as they can be. We're asking a lot of them.
Well, this is a little embarrassing. We were almost done anyway, so... Like her bottom. Like she loved anal. No. I hope no one heard that. Oh god, I hope no one heard that. That's just me mumbling stupid crap.
Have you heard anything? Not yet. I'll let you know as soon as I do.
Alright. Let's just wait for the countdown. Alright. Found the missing seekers. Now, since we're here, let's hear these Red Templars to Storm Coast. Forces. Alright. Okay, Brunak. Cassandra's locked into your party. So you have this odd lineup where... Yeah. Good morning, Madar Pauser.
Care Oswin. Odd that the trail should lead us here. Ban Loren is a pious, unassuming man. What has he become involved in?
Might simply be a victim as well.
Let's see what lies within.
So this is Cassandra's companion quest. Oh, I went the wrong way because I haven't done it in such a long time. We need to find out what happened to the missing seekers. So this is Cassandra's companion quest. Oh, I went the wrong way because I haven't done it in such a long time. Where am I from? I live in Oxon Hill, Maryland right now. Though I was born in like Anchorage, Alaska.
Promises. I should have known. The Order of Fiery Promise is a cult with strange beliefs about the Seekers. They've hounded us for centuries.
What kind of strange beliefs?
They believe they are Seekers, the only rightful ones. They say we robbed their powers long ago, preventing them from ending the world.
Ending the world?
The only way to truly eradicate...
Oh, if you're from Europe, that's cool.
The world will be reborn.
I've never spoken to someone from Europe before.
Nonsense.
Why haven't the Seekers dealt with them?
We have, many times. They simply reappear after a time like weeds. Nobody knows how.
Cultists. Why am I not surprised?
This explains why the Seekers might be here, but not the connection to Corypheus. A Seeker. Did they torture him to death? The Promisers will pay for this.
I know of Hungary, but I don't know anything about it. Like, what it looks like, or what the atmosphere of the city is like. Or even if it's mostly a city. Like... It's just one of those places I've never thought about that much. Got the courtyard key.
As the Seekers of Truth have proven resistant to the effects of red lyrium, the Elder One has seen fit to place them in your care. Reclaim your destiny, and know that the Elder One expects your devotion as repayment. Signed by Lord Samson, Commander of the Red Templars. Does Corypheus not realize the Promisers want the world to end? What use are they to him?
Huh.
Corypheus will probably betray them before they get their chance.
But after he gets what he needs out of them. But this doesn't explain how he captured the Seekers in the first place, or what's been done with them. We must keep looking.
Why are
The
Seekers
letter said
resistant?
Seekers were resistant to red lyrium.
Our abilities grant us many gifts, but a resistance to red lyrium's corruption? That seems strange. Although it would explain why none have numbered among the Red Templars. And thus Seekers would be
Oh,
useless
so Austria's in Europe
He
too.
would have no
Okay.
leash to hold us.
I suspect that Romania was a European country, but I never knew where exactly Hungary was located. That's nice to know. Oxen Hills... No, crap. Never mind.
We'll find them, Cassandra.
I know we will. One way or another.
Alright, everyone's leveled up. That means more things than one. Since she's a party member, there's no harm in getting Rally. Madar means bird. What does Powser mean? Or is that just another name? Oh. Since Cassandra is level 18 now. She can use Mage Hunter. Oh, she can always use Mage Hunter. Alright. That's important for her, because she needs this. Wow, it's a huge shield. And Solus can get Earnest Reprisal. Man, after looking at that, I think Earnest Reprisal fits Dorian better. Oh, so your name basically means bird paws.
Daniel! Daniel!
Typos can sneak up on you like that.
Cassandra, it is you. You're alive.
As are you. I'm so glad I found you.
No, they put a demon inside me. It's tearing me up.
What? You can't be possessed. That's impossible.
I'm not possessed. They fed me things. I can feel it growing.
Can a demon be grown inside someone?
Savages. I will tear every last one of them apart.
No. The Lord Seeker.
Of course we'll find him. If he lives, we'll...
Lucius betrayed us, Cassandra. He sent us here, one by one. An important mission, he said. Lies. He was here with them all along. He's still working with them.
So cool.
But we met Lord Seeker Lucius in Val Royeaux.
Yeah, those veins are not pretty.
That wasn't him.
I guess that's what happens when you have a demon grown
Not
inside of
really.
you, though.
What? How could that be?
The Lord Seeker allowed it. He let the demon take command while he...
Came here.
So yeah, the Lord Seeker pulled a fast one. He showed up to confront us, except he really didn't. That was actually the demon in disguise the entire time. So we never met the real Lord Seeker at the Val Royeaux. Oh no, there's no aliens. This is just the demon. I mean, it's an alien presence, but that's just saying it's a foreign presence. We don't have aliens in the Dragon Age setting.
Would he really work with these cultists?
I intend to find out.
Wait. Don't leave me like this, please.
You should have come with me. You didn't believe in the war any more than I did.
Oh, I didn't know you were
You know
joking.
me.
Like, you're typing
I
on
wanted that promotion.
It's really hard to read sarcasm
Go to
and
the
jokey
maker's side,
tone over text,
be welcome.
especially when we're just having a casual conversation. Plus, I don't know when you were making the joke, so, you know, timing also matters. Yeah.
He was my apprentice. I have never known a finer young... Now we find Lord Seeker Lucius.
I tried to explain all the three. Oh, cool. A fellow Dragon Age fan. I'm always up for talking to one of you. What's your favorite game in this series so far? Nice. What's your favorite game series so far? 3. So, like, Inquisition the most. I like Inquisition way more than I do Dragon Age 2, but it doesn't beat Dragon Age Origins for me, simply because Origins really let you go all out with the role-playing. And I prefer the way you can set your party's tactics in that game, compared to Inquisition.
Lord Seeker Lucius.
Cassandra, with a man I can only assume is the new Inquisitor.
And you're the man who betrayed his own order.
I presume you know we Seekers of Truth were once the original Inquisition. Oh yes. We fought to restore order in a time of madness long ago, as you do now. And we became proud. We sought to remake the world, to make it better. But what did we create? The Chantry, the Circles of Magi. A war that will see no end.
And aiding Corypheus is supposed to help?
Corypheus is a monster with limited ambition.
And your ambition is so much greater.
We Seekers are abominations, Cassandra. We created a decaying world and fought to preserve it even as it crumbled. We had to be stopped. You don't believe me? See for yourself. The secrets of our order passed to me after the former Lord Seeker was slain. The war with the mages had already begun, but it was not too late for me to do the right thing.
The creepiest thing about Lucius is how he's smiling throughout all of this. Like, dude, at least change up your expression. It's partly hard to take him seriously like this, but it also makes him way creepier to know how right he feels.
And this was the right thing?
Lord Seeker, what you've done.
I know. What Corypheus did with the Templars does not matter. I have seen the future. I have created a new order to replace the old. The world will end so we can start anew. A pure beginning. Join us, Cassandra.
Oh,
the
okay, well,
will.
as far as being able to talk, I can see why people would prefer that. But honestly, I find it kind of an overrated feature when it comes to modern role-playing games.
Insane. He had to be. The influence of Corypheus,
Because
perhaps?
not being able to talk...
Was he trying to disable the Seekers?
If so, the plan works perfectly.
He could not have destroyed all of us. I won't accept it. Let us return to Skyhold. I wish to see what's in this book of secrets.
So here's the thing. If you aren't playing with the even ground to trial on, Lord Seeker Lucius is at level 9. You can get this companion quest really early if you leave Skyhold soon enough. So these guys were not meant to be super powerful challenges. You can also tell how weak they were because even with their higher levels, we were able to kill them pretty easily. As far as role-playing goes, there's bigger advantages with a non-voiced player character than there are with a voiced player character in terms of role-playing ability. Which is why I can't say having a voiced protagonist is automatically better. But I do see the appeal of having a PC that can talk. Me, I could go either way. I'm just acknowledging the strengths and weaknesses of both approaches. The same thing goes with Fallout 4. Like, same thing in 3 and New Vegas. Even all the way back in the first game, just not being able to talk meant you had wider role-playing options. But because 1 was like...
You'll be quick, will you?
I'm a runner. They may be running.
No need for commentary. Just do your job.
This is part of my job?
It is if I say it is.
Right you are.
Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
That's hilarious.
There are problems coming out of Halamshiral?
There are always problems from Halamshiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Alright, let's debrief.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was hilarious. That's what they'll say one day. You watch. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halamshiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Yeah, I grew up playing Pokemon, so I know how weird it is to have a protagonist who doesn't actually reply back, but the game implies they talk back. But I got used to it, so I don't really view it as uncommon.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
Many extraordinary things have happened to get us to this point.
I'm not so certain. I think it has been a long time coming. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
Alright, so you got a couple of special options here. Nobility knowledge gives you this option. This is a flirt dialogue. My opinion of the Mage Templar debate is, when I grew up, when I was starting out with Dragon Age, I was pretty much completely pro-Mage because of what Origins did. I stayed pro-Mage all the way through Dragon Age 2. Even though the point of that game was showing the extremes of both sides and how they can go really, really bad. By the time I get to the Inquisition, though, I was still pro-Mage, but I was really starting to see the flaws in having this debate spread out across the entire franchise like it has. Because, you see, what it all comes down to is this. Demon possession and fearing the supernatural power that a mageocracy will create. A mageocracy is something you can't really solve because the entire point of that fear is that the else can fight back against it. And demon possession is something you can't solve because the entire point of magic in this setting is that it leaves you vulnerable to demon possession. So there's really no way to actually solve the question. So I grew a little tired of it being asked and put at the forefront. Because it's like, the point of these games is to solve the crisis. Be the man who makes the big decisions. I absolutely agree with you that the Chantry is the root cause of all of it. But my main point is that the game can't really offer a plausible solution to any of it. So there's no real reason for me to do anything except go with my gut feeling. Because if the option is presented in the game, then it will play out happily. It'll go... It's like going anti-mage and pro-Templar. There's no point in putting that option in the game unless it was a valid choice. Whose solutions were, in fact... Well, technically the circle worked for a while. It's just that it's like not actually a solution. Like, it's like putting up I can't think of a good metaphor for this, but it's like putting a mousetrap outside of your oven in hopes of catching a mouse. Yeah, the mousetrap could catch the mouse, but the solution would be to call an exterminator. Like, there's no actual solution to the base issue. So the game offers feel-good options and promises you they will never fail. Instead, because it knows it has no way of actually offering a solution to it. And I'm fine with that. But I'm also just tired of the Mage Templar dilemma being presented as a major thing in the setting. And one of the things I'm interested in coming from Dragon Age 4 is not having to deal with that question anymore. So that's just where I'm going to, stand there. That's where I stand.
We have more important things to worry about right now.
One day we must turn our thoughts to what comes after.
But that's not today.
I suppose that is true. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Alright. If I'm right, this should be the romance option. Oh, no, it's not. Wow, that went on for longer than I thought.
This tome has passed from Lord Seeker to Lord Seeker since the time of the Old Inquisition. And now it falls to me.
That's a lot of not very exciting reading, apparently.
On the contrary, it's a delight. I'm riveted.
Oh, you're joking.
Do you know what the Rite of Tranquility is? The last resort used on mages in the Circle, leaving them unable to cast, but depriving them of dreams and all emotion. It should only be used on those who cannot control their abilities, but that has not always been the case.
It's a small price to pay for the greater good.
That's what I always thought. What finally began the Mage Rebellion was the discovery the Rite of Tranquility could be reversed. The Lord Seeker at the time covered it up, harshly. There were deaths. It was dangerous knowledge, the shock of its discovery in addition to what happened in Kirkwall. But it appears we've always known how to reverse the Rite, from the beginning.
So the Seekers are responsible for the rebellion, in more ways than one.
One more crime to add to the pile. Yes. We created the Rite of Tranquility. To become a Seeker, I spent months in a vigil, emptying myself of all emotion. I was made tranquil, and didn't even know. Then the vigil summoned the spirit of faith to touch my mind. That broke tranquility, and gave me my abilities. The Seekers did not share that secret. Not with me, not with the Chantry, not even with... There's more. Lucius was not wrong about the Order. I thought to rebuild...
Well, the reason for that is because there's a lot of mages gathered in one place. So, of course, a demon would be like, holy crap, this is a mage buffet. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a mousetrap, but it's not an exterminator. It's not a real solution to the actual dilemma. And one of those is demon possession. Demon possession is like the number one reason people are so opposed to mages being free in this setting. I mean, out of universe. That's the number one reason.
I don't think I've ever seen you so shaken.
I do not think the Seekers have been doing the Maker's work. Not truly. Perhaps we believed it once. The original Inquisition came to be during a terrible time. But now, we harbored secrets and let them fester. We acted to survive, but not to serve. That is not the Maker's work.
Let's make the Seekers better.
Rebuild the Seekers. Make them better than they were.
Thank you. I could not have done this on my own.
I have 20 thrones now.
Your worship.
I was hoping we could speak privately.
Are we not?
Right. Of course we are. The flirting. With me. I've noticed it. Unless it is my imagination, which is entirely possible.
This is a possibility from us of Cassandra.
No, it's not your imagination.
You cannot court me if that's your intention. It's impossible.
Did you just say I can't court you?
Yes. What of it?
It's just a bit formal.
And that is a bad thing? I cannot be properly courted.
Is that what you want?
No. I take it back.
Oh, man.
That is what I want. I want a man who sweeps me off my feet, who gives me flowers and reads me poetry by candlelight. I want the ideal. You are the Inquisitor and the Herald of Andraste. You cannot be that man.
Begins the romance with Cassandra.
I can be that man, Cassandra.
The world hinges on our actions. We face death at every turn, Inquisitor.
That doesn't change how I feel.
It changes everything.
All right. But we're going to put that on hold. Let me see. Since Varric's quest is up next, we're going to go back here.
We cannot.
This might interest you, sir.
Oh, I went this entire video without mentioning that I also changed the Inquisitor's armor. I might have done that by now. I've forgotten, but it's pretty much gonna stay this way for the rest of the game as well, unless I find like better masterwork materials to work with.
Inquisitor.
You can do an elf-elf romance in Dragon Age Origins. Play a city elf or Dalish elf and then woo up Zevran. There you go.
The Red Templars have dug in here.
I'm certain King Alistair would appreciate having them removed from Ferelden's shores.
Ooh, boy. As far as elf romances as Jericho Mater, I actually like what we were able to get out of the Soulless romance. In general, just the way the story kind of plays it out, as far as how it relates to the main story as well. Well, that's a little limited. I don't personally care about the genders. Just give me a good romance. Or just let me play a romance. I don't need to be the hero in the situation as a specific gender. I mean, I get that that's what your thing is, but it's not mine. I didn't know Varric would always approve of basically ganking Darkspawn. No, Red Templars, wow. Okay.
Many of these Red Templars were good men and women once. A shame to see them corrupted beyond recognition.
Nope, I'm streaming. Oh, God. Great. Just great.
We're near another artifact.
Crap. I thought you wanted an elf-elf romance. Why does the male elf inquisitor having 4 options total matter? Cause it's like, alright, need to get that one over there. Mm-hmm. Red Templar key. Oh, right. This is your gender hang-up. Okay. Well, for your sake, I guess, I hope that there's a female straight elf for your male Dragon Age 4 player character to romance in the next game. I'm certain that won't deny people the possibility of having more options, because I think that's pretty much a waste. Like, why would you wish for people to not have more options if you don't particularly have any reason to care about the romances yourself? That's what I always thought. Oh, you're immune to frostbite. Great.
Goodbye! I believe we've broken the Templar's hold here.
There may yet be stragglers, but we've dashed whatever plans they might have had.
This boat still looks seaworthy.
All right.
What do we expect to find here?
Something big. Man, explain this dumb joke. Alright. Dragonling. Alright.
Stay alert. We're in the beast's territory now. Make it take you!
Yeah. Because as you can tell, we're in the presence of a high dragon. I don't think so. Oh, you mean because of Solus at the end of the game? Okay, at the post game in Trespasser. All right. Well, I actually like the Solus romance for that reason. Like, when it ties into the story like that, it's actually at its most interesting because of what informs you about the characters. Sarah's romance, though, is hilariously anti-Dalish. I have no investment whatsoever in the Dalish as a concept, but it's super hilarious to me. Alright. Alright, so. Oh, okay, Varric. Alright, Varric. Ooh. Look at how much damage Varric did to this High Dragon after he just popped his, like, his ability. Alright, that's it. Man, this... Alright. Didn't get a lot of experience with that particular dragon. We got a lot of influence. Yeah. Alright. We've pretty much completed the meat and potatoes section of our build. So now we're going to go... Well, actually, yeah. We completed the meat of our build, so now we're going to get the potatoes. Caltrops looked like it hurt. Cheap shot. They're going to be means to an end. Because what we're aiming for is throwing blades, so... Let's loot this dragon. We have Impeace Vigilance, which only warriors can wield. It's level 16. And I find that strange, because this particular high dragon, the Vinsummer is the name of this high dragon, and her base level is 17. So getting a level 16 piece of armor from killing her is a little weird to me. Oh yeah, I like magic. I like magic in just about any setting. It's just, when I can, I like to play a mage. The reason I'm not playing a mage in this game is because I wanted to complete a cycle.
Have you heard from any of your Kirkwall associates, Varric?
You're asking me? So you don't read my letters?
You're no longer my prisoner, much as you like to act like it.
Yet I still get all the suspicion.
I am not without sympathy, especially given recent events.
Why, Seeker, I would never accuse you of having sympathy. By the way, I tend to refer to my associates as friends. Maybe you're not familiar with the concept.
Wyvern Tooth, however, fits the bill. It's level 18. That's one level higher than Vinsummer. That's good. Arm penetration, dexterity for attack damage, and sundering armor on hit. Not bad. And you can still upgrade it. So hey. And you get a flanking damage bonus ring, which is great for our build. A Dragon Gland, which is a creature research item, meaning we can possibly unlock bonus damage against high dragons. And the rest has just general dragon materials. Prophet's Laurel. Fancy weapon names. They tend to evoke awe and the idea of mythology. Man. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I played Origins as a warrior, and I played Dragon Age 2 as a mage. So I finished off the set by playing a rogue Inquisitor. For the sake of the stream. Alright. Storm Ghost. Yo. Yeah, mages have a lot of fun play styles attached to them. This is why I like to play as them. Um, flanking and attack penetration. All right. We're at over 2 hours of streaming, according to my YouTube video. In the setting, only people born with a connect. You have to be born as a mage in this setting. It's not like the Elder Scrolls where everyone can just read a flames spellbook in order to shoot fire. In Dragon Age, being born a mage is like being born a mutant in the X-Men comics.
It was unusual. Is he always so blunt?
Yes.
Like, you're either born a mage or you're not. And that's where pretty much another part of the conflict. Not everyone's a mage. So people have a reason to have, like, are suspicious of the entire idea. 3. Need 4 points in this. So. Alright. Alright then. The exact reason people can't all be born as a mage, I don't actually know. It's one of those things that's determined at random from birth. Oh, that's right. There's a war table operation related to the Storm Coast.
Did you see the message I sent?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, the same. It's just something that's determined at birth. That's why you can't choose to be a mage later on in your life. Mages can choose to not use their magic ever, or they can choose to just be tranquil if they're part of the circle. but they can't choose. They can't choose to be just plain normal. There's never been an indication that there's a way to just lose your magic without losing your ability to be to your dream.
I've news, sir.
Alright, you kind of gave it a little thought. Alright. In the Star Wars, there are people who are born with stronger force connections to ordinary people who use force too. Okay, the force is a different concept from how magic is presented and explained
Red Templars.
in the Dragon Age setting.
Must have sent them here for some reason.
You can't use the setting of one to determine the rules of another. Like I just explained with my Elder Scrolls example, the difference between Elder Scrolls magic and Dragon Age magic. So you cannot apply the Force from Star Wars to magic from Dragon Age for the same reason. They're just different rules. And those different rules mean that if you're not born a mage, you cannot manipulate magic. Like with Star Wars, the whole point of it is that everyone is connected to the Force, and because of that, they can learn how to manipulate it, unless you're the Yuzan Vong or a droid. But that's an established rule of the lore. Midichlorians are drawn to individuals whose ability to manipulate the Force is greater, and you can train to manipulate to increase how much of the Force you can manipulate, obviously, but some people are born with a higher ability to manipulate than other people. That's true. But it's also the Force itself, in some way, choosing who to allow to become more powerful. Like in The Last Jedi, the entire crux of that story is the Force is deliberately picking and choosing who to make more powerful for the sake of balance. Which is not really a plot point I'm a fan of, but that's whatever. That's what they're going to go with. Alright, time to start Varric's quest. Yeah, it's a really cool look.
Finally. I started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
Why would the containers need to be protected?
Lyrium is incredibly dangerous in its raw form. It can poison or kill dwarves, and we're resistant to it. Sometimes it just explodes. No warning.
Basically, only crazy people mine lyrium.
The mining cast doesn't just sling it into a bucket. It's carried in special containers that keep it under control.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
Skippy's...
normal. The red stuff is worse. I wouldn't be surprised if most of their miners die just digging it up.
Skippy.
You seem to know more about the effects of red lyrium than most.
Varric told me plenty about what it did to him. And his brother.
How did you find this operation in the first place? There must be hundreds of Deep Road's entrances.
I've used this entrance in the past. Varric's not the only surface dwarf to explore the deep roads.
Yeah,
Oh,
Skippy,
I gotta admit, I was
that
pretty
story
surprised when I
is
came
not
here and found it
canon.
full of humans.
Like, it was never canon even in terms of the legends. He's, like, it's a joke. The entire point of that entire character is that it's a joke.
We better get to work.
Skippy
Sounds good to
can't
me.
actually manipulate the Force. I've never heard of him until today, but there are no Force-sensitive droids. Just jokes like Skippy, where that's basically the entire point of the joke.
Make it take you.
I like how Dragon Age dwarves look. The Origin dwarves look like monkeys. I guess I see it, but I don't think they look like monkeys.
We're in for it.
Huh? Get up, you lazy.
They look like midgets. They just look like short humans.
So this is what you do now?
Beg pardon?
Skulking around in caves, shooting guys? Is this your day-to-day?
I usually try to avoid the caves.
Get up, you lazy sods.
Alright, oh, I remember the arms. Yeah, they were pretty long. Yes. All the races look better in Inquisition. both in terms of design and in terms of animation.
You had me worried, you know.
What did I do now?
That letter you sent me about the Red Lyrium was the first I'd heard from you since the Chantry explosion.
Had it been that long?
Seriously, if you died in that mess, I'd have come back to Kirkwall and dug you up just to kick your ass.
What would you do if I'd been cremated?
Kick your ashes, of course.
But I don't know.
I built these doors. They probably shut this one from the other side when they heard the ruckus we were making.
Are you suspicious of you, Bianca?
Ta-da!
Mm-hmm.
You've been here often enough to renovate the cave?
You already know I've used this entrance in the past. I don't know if Eric's told you, but the Merchants Guild is cutthroat. Literally. I built the doors to keep rivals from following me down here and arranging accidents.
It's still suspicious, Bianca.
Admit it, you've been waiting to do that since we arrived.
Of course I was. After you.
Get up! Lazy sods!
That had to hurt!
Lost the bastard!
How is what's his name?
Bogdan? He's in Navarra right now, selling my machine to wealthy landowners.
I heard some of the guild were trying to get you named a paragon for that contraption.
That's not gonna happen, even if I am 10 times the Smith Bronca ever was. A surfacer paragon? Never.
It's actually possible to become a Surfacer Paragon if, in Dragon Age Origins, as either a dwarf noble or a dwarf commoner. Ooh. Ooh. That slowdown was great. Okay, so he's not promoted. He's just annoying. A warden spellbinder.
You know, this is almost fun. Kinda like old times.
I don't recall us ever shooting people together.
Remember crashing Bartram's guild dinner? We might as well have shot him.
This isn't nearly as dangerous as pissing off my brother.
Oh, Bianca's an archer, in case it wasn't obvious.
There you are. You won't be able to use this entrance again.
Bianca.
You were the leak.
You were the one who leaked the Tig's location.
It's not like that. Not entirely. Shit. When I got the location, I went and had a look for myself. And I found the Red Lyrium, and I studied it.
You know what it does to people.
I was doing you a favor.
Dwarven names in
You wanna
Dragon
help your
Age
brother,
are
don't you?
sounds a little
I just
Slavic, Scandinavian,
wanted to
Hebrew,
figure it out.
Italian, and Scottish. Well, I would imagine that in order to get most fantasy-sounding names, you have to basically make a mishmash of our real-world native languages. I've never been able to pin down exact, well, race or ethnicity for. I mean, the Kunari are basically Islamic Borgs, but dwarves, I've never really been able to pin them down to anything.
You could have been killed, or worse. And for what?
Knowledge? You're not gonna beat Corypheus with ignorance. I found out that red lyrium... It has the blight, Varric. Do you know what that means?
What? The two deadly things combined to form something super awful?
Lyrium is alive, or something like it. Blight doesn't infect minerals, only animals. I couldn't get any further on my own, so I looked for a Grey Warden mage. Blight and magical expertise in one, right? And I found this guy, Larius. He seemed really interested in helping my research. So I gave him a key.
Larius? He was the Grey Warden we met in Corypheus's... Oh, shit. I knew something seemed off.
I didn't realize until you said you found red lyrium at Haven. I came here and, well, then I went to you.
Right, so in the Dragon Age 2 DLC Legacy, you team up with Larius, a blighted Grey Warden commander of the Grey, who basically acts somewhat like a Darkspawn, even though he's still lucid for the time being. You team up with him throughout the entire DLC, and near the end, you can choose to keep siding with him, or you can side with this actual Grey Warden mage. Name I forget. At the end of the DLC, Corypheus body jumps into Larius after you kill him, because Corypheus is a giant Darkspawn, Archdemon hybrid. No one actually noticed that he's different, because, well, they've never seen the Grey Warden in that condition before. So Corypheus is able to slink away from that defeat. Larius asked Corypheus, then met Bianca, and the rest is history.
That name means something to you, Varric?
He was at the Grey Warden prison where we found Corypheus, and he definitely wasn't a mage before.
Yes, and because he's actually Corypheus now, he could in fact use magic.
You had to know we'd figure out what happened, Bianca. Why did you insist on coming with us?
Varric told me what people were doing with the red lyrium. I had to help make this right.
You'll have to answer for all the damage you've done.
I know I screwed up, but we did fix it. It's as right as I can make it.
This isn't one of your machines. You can't just replace a part and make everything right.
No, but I can try, can't I? Or am I supposed to wallow in my mistakes forever, kicking myself, telling stories of what I should have done?
Ha! As if I would tell stories about my own mistakes.
The red lyrium is out. Closing this entrance won't undo that.
We've done all we can here. Bianca, you'd better get home before someone misses you.
Varric.
Don't worry about it.
Get him killed, and I'll feed you your own eyeballs, Inquisitor.
I don't much care about Bianca, but that's mostly because I don't like the nature of her relationship with Varric. It's clear that we're an item, but it's a all give, no take type of situation.
Falling back.
The name Bianca is Italian, Dagna is Norwegian, and Varric is a little Welsh or Scottish-like. Interesting trivia. Interesting trivia. Alright, so, yeah. I really could care less about Bianca. I feel bad that Varric associates with such a person, but Bianca is like half the reason Corypheus has gotten as much headway as he did. But we did learn something important from that companion quest. We learned that lyrium is a living substance. It's somehow alive, like a human being is. Because that's the only way you can infect lyrium with the blight. And it just says a lot about the nature of the setting and the metaphysics of the Dragon Age world, especially the Fade. Wait, what does it mean for the Fade if lyrium can become infected? Alright, so Salted Plains. We went out of our way to pop open Solus's companion quest with all that dialogue in the beginning of the episode, so it makes sense to make it like one of the last things we do. We have to get it done. Yeah, I don't have to do that? Yeah. I don't have to do that. If you're going to insult us, I wish you could do something to get you to stop insulting us. But, nah, I'm talking my butt right now. All new faded for her. The Qunari name are Hebrew-like. The culture is more Asian, like ancient China or Indian.
Thank you for this, Inquisitor. We are not far from where my friend was summoned.
I've heard different from a lot of other people over the years, so it's pretty interesting to get a different perspective. Mater.
My friend.
Arcane knowledge perk.
The mages turned your friend into a demon.
Yes.
You said it was a spirit of wisdom, not a fighter.
A spirit becomes a demon when denied its original purpose.
So they summoned it for something so opposed to its own nature that it was corrupted. Fighting?
Let us ask them.
A mage! You're not with the bandits? Do you have any lyrium potions? Most of us are exhausted. We've been fighting that demon.
You summoned that demon! Except it was a spirit of wisdom at the time. You made it kill! You twisted it against its purpose!
I understand how it might be confusing to someone who has not studied demons, but after you help us, I can...
We are not here to help you.
We came to help your friend. Any way to do that now that it's a demon?
You cannot befriend a demon? However amicable it might appear, it must...
Shut up! You summoned it to protect you from the bandits.
Yes.
You bound it to obedience, then commanded it to kill. That is when it turned. The summoning circle. We break it, we break the binding. No orders to kill, no conflict with its nature, no demon.
What? The binding is the only thing keeping the demon from killing us. Whatever it was before, it is a monster now.
Inquisitor, please.
I can break it.
I've studied rituals like this. I should be able to disrupt the binding quickly.
Thank you. We must hurry!
Alright. So the key to this companion quest is that alright. is that you have to basically not kill Demon. Varric, you basic attack this. Solus, you basic attack that. Right, right. Yeah. Solus, you basic attack that. Cassandra, you basic attack this. And I'll get the last one here. Alright, everyone did their job. Good.
Lethaline, Irabalas.
Tel Abalos en Asel Atalim. Mamilava Halane. Malasuladinadas. Magilani Midanam.
Manuvinen.
Elven culture kinda like a mix between Norse Greek and Celtic culture. When you say Elven culture, do you mean Dalish or City Elf? I assume you mean Dalish, because City Elf culture is basically just suburban living.
I'm sorry, Solus.
Don't be. We gave it a moment's peace before the end. That's more than it might have had. All that remains now is them.
Thank you. We would not have risked the summoning, but the roads are too dangerous to travel unprotected.
You tortured and killed my friend.
We didn't know. It was just the spirit. The book said it could help us.
Oh, ancient culture. I can see that, yes. We're gonna let Solus kill them, because I really don't care about these guys. The Three Stooges can go bye-bye.
Damn them all. I need some time alone.
Looks like he used the
I will meet you back at Skyhold.
flaming array spell to kill them. Alright. Alright. We'll talk to Solus in a little bit. Right now, we're going to complete the ideal of romance for Cassandra.
There must be something here.
I remember the first time the dead walked these lands, when a blood mage poisoned our leman.
Jowen.
Perhaps you're right, dear. You should go.
You must be the surfacer they call the Inquisitor. That right?
Of course.
Wish I could sell you some
I will
books.
stay and put things in order here.
Wish I could sell anyone some books. Sod it all.
Can't believe it didn't have these already. Wow. Codexes.
So, what happened exactly?
Surfacers happened. It took all my coin for bribes just to find out the damn Templars ambushed my wagon before it got here. Thought I was bringing supplies to the robes. So it's out there, but who knows where.
Any books of poetry in your wagon?
Sure. Mages love that stuff. Fat lot of good it does me now.
Danish culture are dramatic like Tatars, ancient Mongols, city elf like African American culture. Yeah, that's what I meant. City elves are urban culture. But I also completely understand the Dalish being nomadic. They live in the woods, so that means they are always traveling. Like Meryl's clan, they were pretty much in one location, and then they were in the next one. Valrio. 3 hours now. Wow. Well, this is always going to take more than 2 hours. Unless you did literally nothing but each companion quest and no dialogue. No setup. It was going to take a long time to get anything done. Yeah, they...
The wiles of a bargain hunter. I am honored to accommodate. Within reason, of course.
You have the eye of a skilled haggler. This earns my respect and some...
Pre-made weapon upgrades in case you don't feel like crafting something for yourself. Ferelden is British and Irish like Tevinter. Oh, sorry. Ferelden is British and Irish like. Tevinter is Rome, or is French. Oh, Antiva and Riviera like Spain. Yeah, I knew all that years ago. That's the most obvious thing to me. Like, oh, Ferelden's are clearly British.
By the Maker, it's the Inquisitor himself. Would you care for a bouquet of flowers, your worship? The roses have been exceptional this season.
I was looking for some flowers, in fact.
Indeed. For what occasion, if I may ask?
For a lady friend.
Oh, no simple wildflowers for you then. I have just the thing. I'll send them to Skyhold, in fact. Rare beauties your lady will adore.
Alright. That's everything. Let's go do this. But first, let's talk to Solus. And their little yeah, like your accent's determined by how long you stay around the place of birth. So elves can have British and French accents as well as, like Zevran, a Spain accent.
Inquisitor.
How are you, Solus?
It hurts. It always does. But I will survive.
Thank you for coming back.
You were a true friend. You did everything you could to help. I could hardly abandon you now.
Where did you go?
I found a quiet spot and went to sleep. I visited the place in the Fade where my friend used to be. It's empty. But there are stirrings of energy in the void. Someday something new may grow there.
What happens when a spirit dies?
It isn't the same for mortals. The energy of spirits returns to the Fade. If the idea giving the spirit form is strong, or if the memory has shaped other spirits, it may someday rise again.
You're saying your friend might come back?
No, not really. A spirit's natural state is peaceful semi-existence. It is rare to be able to reflect reality. Something similar may reform one day, but it might have a different personality. It would likely not remember me. It would not be the friend I knew.
I'll let you get back to work.
All right. Thank you again.
All right. I was actually afraid we wouldn't have enough approval from Solus to actually get his companion quest to start, but then I remembered that I remember we got greatly approval from him allying the mages.
Planning troop movements now?
Imagine what it will look like when we're done.
They can be varied. Do elves and dwarves have different skin colors? They can have variable skin colors, from what I recall.
As for what will come next,
like Zevran's skin looks different from Meryl's skin, for example.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging.
That's unfortunately true.
Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
I appreciate that.
We still have a long road to travel.
I love people.
Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too. Now,
I cannot stop thinking of our earlier discussion. You don't actually intend to go through with courting me, do you?
I said I would, and I will.
I believe you, yet
You don't sound like you believe me.
it wasn't a challenge, my lord. You needn't do it simply because I suggested you could not.
I happen to like a challenge.
You enjoy making things complicated, don't you?
oh, put it into the romance. No. Here we go.
I'd like to speak with you. In private.
Oh? How private?
There's a grove just outside of Skyhold. Meet me there.
If you're certain.
I am. Trust me.
I wouldn't just blindly say the Chantry like that, because there are people who can represent the good parts of the Chantry, like Cassandra and Liliana,
branch do blossoms
while there are people who represent the
wind,
wrongs of
a
the
hallowed
Chantry.
breath.
People I can't put a name to right now, but people nonetheless.
It carries the scent of honeysuckle, sweet as the lover's kiss. It brings the promise of more tomorrows, of sighs and whispered bliss.
You can't be serious.
I can, and I am.
And that is the poem you chose?
Oh, so the list is more detailed than I thought.
Carmenum de Amatus. I thought this one was banned. His lips on mine speak words not voiced, a prayer, which travels down my spine like flames that shatter night. His eyes reflect the heaven stars.
Oh, man.
The Maker's light.
I love her.
My body opens, filled and blessed. My spirit there.
My opinion on the Chantry is largely that it can be an institution for good if you put the right people in charge of it.
Shall we read another?
They will say one of two things about me. That
Oh,
I stood
crap.
at the Maker's side, his protector and his lover. That it was meant to be. Or they will say I was led from the path of faith by the wiles of a madman.
I don't care what they say. What do you believe?
I believe you are a faithful man. I believe you are part of the Maker's plan. Beyond that, I believe only that you are capable of anything. And it frightens me. I have never known anything like it. I've been with only one other man in my life. A mage, with whom I adventured when I was still very young. He died at the Conclave. I will not let Corypheus win. I will not let him take you from me.
Wow.
I love you.
Here, tonight. I believe.
Oh, I forgot I never actually got this trophy, this PS4 yet. that was our ideal romance, and that's going to be it for this video. We did a lot of favors for Cassandra, Solus, and Varric, and we got to kill a high dragon in the Storm Coast while we were at it. Alright, especially after that really steamy scene. That loving, steamy scene, I feel like it's appropriate to end the video here. And pick up next time where we help the rest of our companions with their woes. So, if you liked today's video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys as soon as I possibly can for the next one. So take care.